Hello, hello. Hey, Sinistello. Hello, everybody. It is Monday afternoon. We were working on the cutscene this morning, and now we have a bunch of cleanup stuff, audio stuff. So we're going to get to work on this. I think it should be hopefully not too bad. I don't think anything should be too difficult, but we'll see. So where's the audio system that we have here? Oh, sound system. There it is. Hi, Katso. Come on, girl. Come sit down. Yes, come sit down. Hi. Peppy, do you want to sit? I actually want her warmth on me right now. And this is the one time she's hesitating. Come on, cat. Yes. Yes. Sit down. Good cat. Good cat. Do you want to come over? I can't tell what she wants. Normally she wants to just sit on me. Oh, she's turning around. Okay. Good. Good job, cat. Okay. Now I'll do work. So we have an intro sound system here. Let's go get this into the outro. We used to, I don't even know if there was a reason to do this way. Like I make a scene that's separate and I keep the camera here. I guess we have a play sound thing that's going to need to be called. Yeah, slow music, play sound, play the music. Okay, fine. Well, let's just do it the same way we've done it there. So let's go here. Intro sound system. Do we instantiate this and then fetch it? Yeah, we do. And then we call play town music 1. This is going to mess up how whatever music was playing. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, I want to open up the intro scene now. There's the sound system. Let's paste that into here. It can go pretty much anywhere. Yeah, there. All right, now it's called intro sound system. We should just call it sound system. All right, so that's going to play music. Let's start this and see what it sounds like. I don't even think we have a way of turning the music on because the master volume is turned down, and I don't have a way to get into the settings in the game. Oh, she's purring now. Yeah, so in order to get the music to work, I need to open up local settings and change the master volume. Let's set it to 0.5. I don't know how loud my speakers even are. Yeah, they're not bad. All right, that'll probably drive me nuts by the time we're done testing this. But yeah, so music is set up. Set up audio system and music. Okay. Looks good. Now we want a bunch of sounds. So Scala Wrap. Where'd I even put those files on my machine? I gotta go find those. Music, FL Studio. Scala Wrap. All right, here we go. Audio. Drink, swallow. So I'm guessing it's this. Royalty-free music on Pixabay. Here we go. And what's the license for this? It just says free for use. Free for use under the content license. What does this say? What are you allowed to do? Use content for free. Use content without having to attribute the author. Modify or adapt works. What are you not allowed to do? Cannot sell or distribute on a standalone basis. Sounds good. If it contains any recognizable trademarks, it does not. It's just a drinking sound. Can't use it in a moral or illegal way, misleading or deceptive way, or any of these things. Yeah, this should all be fine. Hey, Xyletics. Let me just angle and zoom the camera differently. And the correct entity will be taking up most of the screen. We've been successful so far, actually, with getting her to not meow as much. It's only been a day or two, I think, and we've been trying to ignore her. We were able to sleep in more than normal today. She's a good cat. She knows how to learn. So yeah, we're allowed to use this. So let's hear what it sounds like. I don't hear any of that. Why don't I hear any of that? Oh, there it is. All right, yeah. So I already have this on my machine. Should I get it as a wave or an MP3? I guess let's get it as a wave file. Well, let's go put this into game, assets, audio. A lot of this stuff is in here. There's like town sounds and whatever. I guess we don't. Wait, what am I talking about? I guess we don't. We have steps in here. I should probably put this in just outro though. Yeah. All right, so we paste that in there. So then we go into our license file. And we write this down. What is happening right now? Huh. Comes from this. Cool. So this is the drinking sound when they're drinking a potion. And can we just play the whole thing? I guess we could. I don't know. Sound ID. Outro, drink, potion. Drink, it's an antidote. What am I talking about? Potion. It's not a potion. Learn the lore of my game. And I'll just say clean up, alphabetize the sound IDs. In case I forget. All right, so any other town sound? We have the heartbeat. Yeah, let's do that. It's gonna be outro, drink, antidote, town, outro, slash this. All right, now we want to play this sound when they're drinking the potion. So where does this happen? Play drink potion. Yeah, something we need to know to play this sound at the exact same time. We could make a call method thing. And just parameterize what it takes in. It takes in a sound ID, which is really just a number. But I think it's probably better to just make like a public void play drink sound in here. And yeah, do that. There. Then we build this and call it. Come on. Okay. So we got to find that play drink potion again. There it is. And it's located at 10.5666. So now I guess we'll add another track for calling methods. What am I doing? Outro, antidote, insert key, drink. It might be timed okay. There's some silence in the beginning. So yeah, let's try this and just listen to the potion sound. It also might be too loud or something. Yeah, that's way too soon. Oh man. All right, let's move it by like that much. It's also pretty loud. I should tone that down. Still off by a quarter second, I think. And still too loud. There. And now let's go change the sound. Yeah, just pre-gulping. So much saliva. Volume 7.5. Yeah, emotes for everything now, Sinstilla. This cat. It still stands out a little too much. I think 0.5, and I think we push it just a touch to the right. Boop. There we go. Okay, so we'll listen to that later. I don't want to keep doing this. Walking sounds. Walking sounds are going to be annoying. I don't even remember how we did that. Like, if we look at intro, wake up. Didn't we have some kind of timer? Yeah, footstep timer. You know what is tricky about this, though? The main character walks from grass onto stone, back onto grass. Ideally, we would have different sounds for that. Depends how much we want to polish this. All right, so we'll make a grass footstep. Grassy footstep timer. And this just gets added in one spot here. I want to be able to start or stop this whenever. So new, false, add it here. This is going to be the grassy one, though. Sure, whatever. And then play sound. Do we have a different footstep? We do. We have grass. Okay. Should not be called intro. It's used in the outro, too. All right, and this is outro like that. All right, so we are starting it here. We don't actually want to start it yet. And we need something that's going to stop it eventually, too. This is rather unfortunate. Yeah, rather unfortunate. I don't want to do this. Oh, well. All right, so what are we going to do here? Public void start or stop grassy footsteps. Yeah, there we go. And I guess we play one immediately. I don't. Can we like trigger it immediately? Maybe you can just invoke the timeout. No, you can't do that. We could just have a play footstep sound or grass footstep. Okay, well, let's not worry about that yet. So you start, and we're just going to try to do all the footstep stuff now. So let's add a key here, start or stop footsteps. Args is going to be true. And then they stop walking at some point. They're walking actually as of here. So we should probably just start this immediately. 0. There. So they're walking, they're walking, they're walking, they're walking, then they stop. So this is where we would stop this. Do you have a music track already in mind? No, I don't think I should create something custom for this. I think it'd be kind of fun to do, but yeah, I don't have something in mind. So they're just going to use a town track we already have. So that's that character. Oh, wait, then they still walk. They stop there. So we stop this there. And then no one walks, and then they start walking, but they're going to be walking on stone for a lot of that time. All right, let's ignore that for now. And then eventually they walk away. Then it would stop here, but the timer is still going to play as though it's playing frequently. Where do we change the... Yeah, here. So I'll stop this here. And you won't hear footsteps anymore. Then we show a dialogue here. Where is that? Show skeleton dialogue too. That's where we say, is that it? And then the character stops moving like shortly thereafter. And then they move again up here. So we would start this again. And then stop it once they're kind of out of screen. So maybe like that. All right, so all we're going to do is pay attention to the adventurer's footsteps. We should hear them now. It's way too fast. Everyone's walking in this scene, so let's make it slower. Oh, that's the wrong scene. Whoops. It sounds like it's faster than a quarter of a second, though. So no footsteps yet. We'll work on that. Yeah, that's kind of bad. And we got to do something on the music there. And then their footsteps don't sound again. Yeah. Yeah, let's stop that just a second later. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I don't like the footsteps when it was about to like freeze frame over here. It's kind of messed up. They start moving, then it slows down. So he has to do that. And then this is all the time that it takes for the screen cover stuff to happen. And then we should maybe play it again afterward. And then stop it as soon as they get to here. So it'd play like once. Okay. And then I think the rest of this was fine. Yeah. So now we got to focus on the skeleton moving. So skeleton moves right there, but it's only 1 footstep on grass. So we got to just have this playing for like half a second. So we got to start it sooner so that it actually happens when they move. And then we stop it like here. And then we need something for stone footsteps as well. Yeah. There we go. This is rock. This is very silly that I'm even doing this level of effort, but whatever. And then the skeleton moves a little bit faster, so we can set this to like 3-5 maybe. Which means we should probably keep track of who's moving if we're going to do this. Yeah. I should pass in like a speed or something. All right, well, let's just add another track for this. So they get to here, and that's when we want to play the stone one. And then they're off the stone as of right there. Attention to detail, everybody. Attention to detail. All right, let's try it. That doesn't sound good. Because they don't move that entire time. They're just moving for part of it. Yeah. We call start rock footsteps here. Then we need to stop it here. Because they make it to their target. I guess we actually start this a little bit sooner. Because it takes 0.35 seconds. Then we do the same thing again. When they start moving again. Which is right here. Then stop when they get to here. And then it should play grass footsteps again. Isn't that fun? For this section. But it's going to play them at a slower pace. Oops. Yeah, I think we should pass in a speed parameter. Yeah, we need a speed parameter. Oh boy, okay, fine. So float speed. I wonder if we could say equals 0.5f and then just not specify it. I don't know if that works. Now I gotta change every single one of those calls. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, so we can just customize it for one of these. And the one that we want to customize it for is this one. So args2. And second one can be an integer. Oh no, a float. What am I talking about? I can be set to like 0.25. Then that's it. That's all we need to do. Let's try that. Now nothing's playing. Why? It probably doesn't know how to call this. Well, we could just do this, I guess, and say start or stop like that. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Yeah, nice. Nice. Okay, so we got all the footsteps. Add some sound effects. I added footsteps and the antidote and the drinking sound. Why are these in here 4 times? Game.docs. What? That shouldn't be there. Yeah, that stuff looks good. Cool. Okay. Next up is the sound of the cork. I don't know if we have a sound for that. FF cork. Bottle. Jar. Open. There's some open ones, but it's books, a bag, generic portal, menu open. Nothing like taking the stopper off a bottle. We could probably find it online. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be any of this stuff. No. Record your own. I don't trust myself to do something like that. That's not bad. If I took the first portion of this, it would actually work. Yeah, that. Yeah. Hey, Hypheus, there's a bubble pop? Yeah, it's potentially a decent idea. Bubble. All right, what's that sound like? Oh, no, that's very loud. Yeah, I don't think that'll work. Bubbles, short, low, high. Yeah, synth blips. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, that could work. Bubble low. What about mid and high? It's not quite right. Yeah, I think low could potentially work. But I still think we should probably just find one through like Pixabay. Pixabay sound effects. Okay, so how do we make sure we're finding... Oh, is everything free? Okay. Let me search for like uncork bottle. I mean, we might as well start with something that's exactly what we want. But it's got to be a pretty short sound effect, and this is pretty long. It sounds pretty good, actually. I made the cat wake up. I like this one the best. We need to make it much quieter. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, I think I like this one best. Is that too much though? Like, it's just a tiny bottle. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that one. Let's go with that one. All right, so this is also under the Pixabay content license. Nice. So let's get a link to this. And it's called Bottle Pop whatever. And it's got 45531 in the name. Cool. All right, so download that. Download. Yeah, it's good. It's an MP3 though. I don't think we have a problem playing MP3s. And it's only 13 kilobytes that way, so I guess let's just try to use it like that. All right, now where's my thing here? Here we go. All right, Bottle Pop. Now because it's an MP3, we got to change this. And then sound ID, outro, Bottle Pop. Yeah, Bottle Pop. Cool. Yeah, I don't know about volume level yet, so let's just try this. So now this is when you get to a certain point in the animation. So we got to time this correctly. This will never get easier, will it? Play bottle sound. Okay. All right, now for timing on this, did I click that button? There we go. For timing on this, it's going to be right after they start drinking, but it's got to be timed with the animation. So like right around here, maybe. Play bottle sound. Yeah, there's a slim chance this is timed correctly. We'll just push it forward or backward as needed. Okay. It's off by maybe, I don't know, actually, couldn't we figure out exactly how much it's off by just, oh, wrong stream. Live, and click that. Oh, I don't have audio playing. Oh, so I need to unmute this and then we'll hear me talk again. Yeah, it's off by very little. It needs to move forward in the thing. So just move this like there, maybe. I'm going to test this again. I know this isn't the best way of doing things. Hopefully other things are easier. I think I want to move it slightly farther ahead so it's clear what that's timed with. All right, so let's keep an eye on that when we do this again. Like, ensure timing of bottle sound. All right, what else do we need sounds for, though? So character, well, I guess let's just test it now and then pay attention to what else we don't have sounds for. Yeah, I want to play a buff sound. Okay, so cure poison. Then we need to do something with the music here. I don't know what. All right, what buff sound do we want to use? We already have a bunch. So let's go look through the ones we have. What would sound best, I wonder? Audio, one of the battle sounds probably. No. No. Even heal or cure could be fine. Where's our heal sound? Here it is. I think of those, I'd prefer this sound. Yeah. Oh, 10 buff O2. The problem with this is a battle sound and it's going to play as though it's a battle sound. So we need to like remanifest it as outro, cure, poison. And yeah. We need to take it from buff O2. So it's just the same path. I think this means it's going to be loaded in memory twice. Wait a second. No, that's not how this works, is it? How does this play? Maybe all play sounds use the same thing. Use town audio player. Play sound ID. It knows what kind of sound it is, right? Something knows the difference between UI and town and battle. I don't know what. There's like a different bus name. Here it is. Oh, each audio player has a particular bus. We only have one audio player. And it's considered the town. Which bus does it use? The town one. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So we don't need to remanifest this. Oh, that's nice. Also a little bit tricky, I guess. So yeah, so an outro antidote, we're going to play cure poison sound. And it's going to be whatever buff O2 is, which is Blessing of Haste, apparently. Okay. So that's after... Come on. So I think we nudge this a little bit more. So we play the drink sound, then at some point we remove the poison effect. There it is, right there. Gets modulated off. So maybe like thereabouts we play the sound. Cure poison. Okay, the cure sound was too soon. But then I want to fade out the music for that time too. So I said that was too soon, so let's put it like there. And then fade out the music. How do we do that? In the intro battle scene, I think we do something with the music, something special. Where is it? No, it's an intro itself. We have some like slow down music thing, right? Yeah, pitch shift music. What does this do? Create a tween that changes the pitch and changes the audio. I think I want to change the volume. I don't think I want to change the pitch. All right, how about this? I'll be silent during this next playthrough and we'll simulate it by changing the volume on YouTube. There's a lot that needs to be fixed. That's what we're doing this afternoon. Okay, so what I wanted to see is, what if I turn this on? Yeah, I like that. You know what would actually be maybe nice is putting like a high pass or a low pass filter on it. Can we do that in Godot? Audio player high pass filter. Audio effect high pass filter. Well, well, well. You apparently can. What other effects do they have? Whoa, they have a ton of them. Features not supported on web. That's fine. Audio buses can contain all sorts of effects. So how do we use these? We add it to the bus? Or do I have to make a new bus for this? Oh, actually, this is probably what I want, a low pass filter. Yeah. But I still don't know how to use this yet, so we got to figure that out. Public, what happened? Public void add or remove low pass filter. We'll add. All right, so filter equals new. It's called audio effect low pass filter. And then we want to add it to this thing. I guess the music player dot effect. That's not a thing you can do. What is a music player? Is an audio player, which is an audio stream player, which doesn't have anything about effects. Nope, it doesn't. Do you have to do this when you make the bus? Is it just part of a bus? Add effect, yeah. Oh, no. Okay, well, maybe we can do this on the fly. Yeah, maybe we can do it on the fly. We have the music bus name here. When you initialize something, there's got to be bus string name. It's just a name. Oh no, how do you do this? Godot audio bus. Any number of effect processors to be added. Adding effects. Yeah, they don't tell you how though. All right, well, let's go to... We have an audio stream. They don't talk about effects anywhere on here, do they? Maybe you can make a new whatever this stuff is. This should just be an audio bus, right? Yeah, it is a bus. But there's no class that corresponds to this. Yeah. Yeah, All right, well, let's search for it. Godot add effect to bus through code. Audio server. Oh, there's an audio server? Aha. Good job. Okay, so let's put that over here. So we do add bus effect. We need to now get the bus that has the music. Kind of weird that we do things this way at all. So this takes in what? Bus ID. It's an integer though. Get bus index. Does this take a string? It does. Oh man. Okay, fine. Yeah, music bus name So int bus index, then audio server dot add effect. And then we need to remove it potentially. So we actually have to save off this low pass filter. And we need to be able to customize this too. When you make a low pass filter, you give it cutoff frequency and there's resonance and stuff. What if I just don't customize this? I wonder what it sounds like. And can we just say remove all bus effects? Remove. No, we'd have to give it the effect. Wait, no. What's that second thing? Effect index ID. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we could just get however many effects we normally have on there and then store that. Alternatively, we can just remove the 0th one and trust that there was nothing else on there to begin with. Does this return an index? It doesn't. At position. Okay, so we can just set it to be position 0. And then put if add do this, otherwise do this. Perfect. Okay, so now we have a function for this. I want to do this just at the very beginning of the scene just to see what it sounds like. So let's put this, you know what, how about this? Let's put it like a little bit into the scene. So wherever one of these functions gets called, deal poison to adventure. Let's put it there. Deal poison to adventure. Okay, so we'll do outro dot audio sound system. What do I call it? Oh, it doesn't exist. Ugh. We need to pipe it through here. All right, that's fine. This should just call the function that we made. All right, now we can call that. So we'll say true here, but I only want to do this once. So how about we do this? If health component dot life is exactly equal to 20, then do this. That's a smart way of doing this if I'm going to be hacky about it anyway. Yeah, because life starts at 20, so it'll only do this once. I just want to see what it sounds like with the default low pass filter. So the first time it deals poison damage, it's also going to make the music get a low pass filter. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good. Okay, so now I want to call this directly. I'll call it the same thing that this is called. And then we'll build this and we can put it for the fade out time. I like it. All right, fade out time is after they do this and start to walk away. Where do they walk away? Right there. Okay, now somewhere we... Yeah, so the screen cover comes in here as we slow down right there. So it's at that point I want to call this function. And then I want to stop calling that function when things come back to normal right here, I think. Yep, and then we just change this to be true. And then we listen. So it should sound muffled when the screen gets covered up. That's still too soon. It's a little delayed. Yeah, as soon as they start moving slowly, it's got to happen. But that does sound pretty good. Hey, Mr. D-Boy, how's your game going? Where is... This is where the speed scale changes. Oh, no, it's changing before that. It's changing here. Right there. So I was not doing that on time. And ideally, we'd tween our way into that. I'm not going to do that, though. That's a level of polish that is just not worth applying to this. So now the next thing is we got to make that potion, the bottle pop sound here. Bottle sound needs, or no, the cure sound needs to be like half a second later, at least. Now I can finally check in. Coming up for air. Yeah, I hope it's going well. Are people excited about updates and everything? Still a little too soon. I don't know about that. Yeah, and then that happens too soon as well. Okay, in general, this is going fine. I don't know what to do about this cure sound, but this needs to be moved a little bit over there. Phone just let you know that I'm live. Hope so. Been working on it for 6 months. Oh, what I meant is more like you said it's update 4. So the updates like 2 and 3, did those go well? Were people responding well? Do you still need playtest feedback and stuff? So kind of. At this point, we have we've pruned the demo, and we have, I don't know, maybe like 10 to 15 playtesters who are lined up, and I have not gotten through like any of them yet. So I need to go through those people first, and then I think that'll probably just get us pretty close to launch. So probably not too much more at this point. Yeah, I've been responding well. That's good. That's really good. Yeah. Yeah, man. Game dev is such a slog, right? I didn't realize you were working with Thornity Co, by the way. He just released a game, and I think it's been doing really well, he said. So I think you're in good hands. What was the thing I was going to do? Oh, yeah, the sound for the Cure Poison. I think it's a little too loud. But we can customize the sound here. So maybe like 7? Let's try that. Whoa. My sound is way turned up. Hey, TCap. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How you doing? We are working on the end cutscene, which I'm testing the sounds of the cutscene now. We're just polishing it. So I'll show this from the start. Welcome in Plus. Welcome in Russian Mike. Let me give you some context, though, a little bit, really fast. So the context is this is Skeleseller, and in the beginning of the game, you're on your very first quest, and you're sent to fight a snake, and you get poisoned. You make it to a town, and you ask for an antidote, but they don't have one, and without that antidote, you die, and you become a skeleton. Then you start your own town, and that's why it's called Skeleseller. So that's the intro of the game. The end cutscene is what you're about to see, which I'm still working on, so it's not perfect yet. But she's digging her claws into my leg as she's getting up. The end cutscene is based on that intro. So you would have fought through the whole game, and now here's what you'll see. And that's it. That's what we have so far. It's high code. So yeah, we're working on the sound effects. You can see some of them are missing. I haven't gotten to them yet. It's not like there's a bug or anything. We're still developing this. And yeah, this is an interesting keyboard. It's the Korn keyboard. It's got 36 keys. There's a command there if you want to see a video about it. So yeah, I think this is sounding good. That sound effect was too soon. So we got to find that and move that a little bit. Yeah, let's just bump that there. Hopefully this is eventually lined up. And then the coin flip stuff, I want to do that. I kind of want there to be like consider dialogue sounds. This is done. We did this one. I prefer keys with 37 plus keys. You know, this is why Windy was banned in our channel for like 6 years. He just comes in slinging opinions. Nobody asked him. Didn't even announce his presence. Timing of all sounds. Hey, Goose. So aggressive. So needlessly aggressive. Comes in here. Beard flowing in the wind. Okay, so I want to add in that coin sound effect. I think we have a sound for when you make a sale. or I know we have a sound for that. I wonder if that sound would work is what I'm wondering. Item sale. So what does that sound like? It is buy, sell. Okay, so I want to just load this up. Buy, sell, O2. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. Okay, let's use that. That is in outro antidote. This one's easy because we know for sure it's going to be timed because we have the tip string right here. So we can just do outro dot play sound item sale. It should use the built-in volume here, I think. So it should automatically be at 70%. So that's when the coin hits you. There needs to be like picking up and setting down the potion. Picking up the potion. Throwing the potion at the ground. All right, picking up the potion. What do we have for that? Pick up. Manually pick up item. What does that sound like? That is pick item 04. That's pretty good. Let's do that. All right, so let's pick up the potion. Is there any function that's called when you do pick up the potion? Right there. Oh, should it play at this point or when you actually have the potion in your hand? Maybe like right about there or something. I'm not sure. But I don't think we call any functions for that, do we? No, we don't. So I need to make another one. Okay, that's fine. Also, coin flip sound. Yeah, that's a good idea. Flinging the coin. Okay, so we'll make one for play. What is this? Pick up potion. Or play pick up potion sound. And it's going to be pick up item. The coin flinging, I'm going to have to figure out. So we'll put this here, insert key, pick up potion sound. What sound library am I using? Like which assets? They're the Leopause sounds. Leopause itch.io. Yeah, this person's, I think this bundle. So it came with a whole bunch of different sound packs in here. I wonder if there are any new ones. Anyway, as far as coins go, so let's search for coin and see if there's any like, there's this one. What's this sound like? So like, could that work for flicking a coin? Not really, right? I don't think it'd be great. And then this is when it hits. Let's see. Let's put those next to each other. That could work. Yeah, ting sound. Wonder if it's like, if I search for a pickaxe or something. Mining pickaxe. No, it's like a rocky sound, not like a metal sound. No, it's all. What about this one? No, that won't work. This doesn't even have a sound effect. What about these? I think they're just too short, maybe, for them to play. Do I have this open? I don't even think I have it open. So all the pick ones. No, none of those will work. Maybe the last one. But it's, I don't like it. Yeah, none of those will work. Oh, what about gold? Nothing with gold. Money. Coin. We already looked at that. What else? Throw. Oh, that's loud. Sorry. Raise the pitch on those recent ones. Well, the other thing we could do is we could just find a free sound outside of this. I could just search for like coin flip. It's pretty good. It's also pretty good. I like that one. Flip that over and then it lands on you. Yeah, I think we probably just use this. Okay. It's the same content license too, so we're fine to use it. So that is an MP3. We got to go write this in our licenses file. This is coin flip shimmer. Let's go get that from downloads. Put that into outro. Got it. So play coin flip sound. Yeah. So this would be outro coin flip. Then wherever we have the other outro sounds, we'll use, I don't think we need to change the volume of this maybe. Coin flip shimmer, that's what it's called. Coin flip shimmer 85750. Yeah, perfect. Let's not change that. And then sound ID. Hey Lexi, how you doing? Okay, now we got to call this from over here when they throw the coin. Oh, I have an extra parenthesis. There we go. So when they throw the coin, which is when we start positioning this thing. All right, let's go find that. They get over to here. Then somewhere we control this stuff. So it's right there, I think. Maybe like a little bit to the right. Now we play our coin flip. All right, let's go try that. Finishing up optimization stuff. What about you? I'm doing well. Right, let's try this. That sounded pretty good. That needs a sound. I'm still concerned about when the buff happens. I think I even want the text to have sound effects here. It's pretty good. All right. I want like a, okay, so this is good. Picking up the potion is good. Throwing the potion on the ground we don't have yet. The buff sound is still misaligned. And there's something else. I want a rumbling for when the skeleton is angry. I also want, and this is not a sound effect thing, but I want the text to turn red on the final thought. And I want the text effects to have bonk sounds. Dramatic zoom. Hey, Rami. All right, so what are we missing first? Throwing the potion at the ground. Okay, what should that sound like? We have a manually drop item. Yeah. What's that? All sound data, manually drop. That is pick item 1. Doesn't really sound like a potion hitting the ground. What other item stuff do we have? Discard item, maybe one of those. Yeah, let's search for discard. Oh, no. 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 Definitely no. Okay, well, it's none of those. Maybe one of these other ones? That's not bad, that one. One of these two could also work. That's what we use for the other ones too. Stream notifications are still on. Saw myself launch Arc Ragers. Yeah, yeah. I don't really think it can dox someone, but yeah. I don't know how to stop those either, but it doesn't really matter. Because like I said, I've never seen my friends play questionable games, and if they, yeah, if they don't want their notification showing, I guess they could always make themselves invisible. You don't care, right, Rami? Should I wipe everyone's memory now? Manually drop items. So that's what we're gonna do when you put this down. So outro antidote. So it's right when this thing hits the ground, which is right there. And yeah, we don't have any function call there. Okay, I'll make a new one. Play potion drop sound. Outro.play sound. Manually drop item. Sounds good. I mean, if you did that, I would just close Steam. Actually, I probably wouldn't even care. Please don't test me, though. Rami's trying to get the title Rami Troublemaker. All right, so potion drop sound done. Buff sound is still misaligned, but I don't know how exactly. I think it should maybe be a tiny bit sooner and maybe even a tiny bit quieter. Don't you dare me. I don't know about the cure sound effect. I think if anything, it should play in the middle of it, like in between the couple of drink sounds, and I don't think I like it. I kind of want to just delete this, or maybe we can make it a lot quieter, so it's like a very subtle thing. And then a rumbling from the skeleton is angry, and then some bonk sounds for the UI things. Yeah, let's go see if we can find those really fast. So we have these in battle, but in UI, there's some like you can't do something, one of these. Like this, yeah. Like if it played that a bunch of times, much quieter, of course. We might have some other like negative sounding effects. Decline. Actually, just playing this a bunch of times worked pretty well. Yeah, but let me see if there's a better one. I think it's pretty good. Decline 10. I don't think we're already using that, are we? No. That is fine. We'll go plug that in. Decline 10. Put this in the outro. Sound ID. Outro text. Negative text. All right, where'd I put all the other outro ones? Outro, negative text. There we go. So now outro antidote. So we need to play a sound every single time one of those things happens. Play negative text sound. This should have some variance, which should be in this thing. The pitch and I don't think we need to change the volume. I'll just leave this as is for now and we'll see what it sounds like. It might be bad. And I want this to play on every single text effect. So we're going to have a bunch of these function calls right next to each other because of how I did this. Where are all those? There they are. All right, so thought one becomes visible like right around there. It's going to be very, very tough unless I zoom in a lot. So insert key, this is going to be negative sound. Cool. Okay, and then we just play a bunch of those. So the next one is right here. The next one is here. And then very frequently thereafter. And then 3 more after that. There. Okay. Let's see if this is annoying. It might be. We might need to tone it down too. And it should get attenuated as they play in succession like that. That's not timed correctly. It's not timed correctly. Okay. The reason it's probably not timed correctly is because maybe it doesn't start, like the attack of this sound is not correct. Let's take a look. It's pretty front loaded. Yeah, it's pretty front loaded. What did I do wrong then? This is lined up right here, which is like right before that text is totally visible. Maybe you'd expect the sound effect sooner when it starts to be visible, like at the halfway point. Yeah, you can put all these at the halfway points of these. I don't know if this is going to make it better, because a lot of this plays out pretty slowly. That's probably why it sounds wrong. You can't move this down. No, that's too bad. I guess what we could do is we could do that. In fact, actually, if I put all these at the end, I could have just shifted them all by the same amount. Well, too late for that now. Next one goes here. Yep. Then the next one goes here. And the next 3 are pretty rapidly one after the other. Then here. And then probably that. Yeah. And then a rumbling effect. We could maybe search for earth. There are a lot of those sorts of like earth loops or something that we could use. It's probably one of those. Or we could even search for loop. Yeah. One of the earth sounding ones though would be a rumbling, I would guess. Weirdly enough, now I don't see any of them that are earth related. Huh, strange. What's this one? A little too staticky, I think. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. Just pitch that downward, I think. Yeah. Pitch it downward and then make it increase in volume, I think. And that would be for the end. Yeah, let's try it. All right, so burn loop, sound ID, outro rage, rumble. Yeah. What's FFI command do? Never seen it before. FF is my like find file, and then I means that it's case insensitive. So it's just a custom name for something I'm using. The thing that I'm actually using though, I'm pretty sure I have all this in here. So if you take a look at, oh, that took so long to load. If you take a look at my Z Shell RC, you should see FFI in here. Yeah, here it is. So it uses BrewFD. And BrewFD is actually just short for FD, which is something that this person made. So yeah, this is where this comes from. All right, so file name I want is this, all sound data. I want to pitch this way down, which we can do just directly in this file, which is kind of nice. Outro, rage, rumbling. And I need this to play on repeat, which we've never done before. So min pitch, we set to 0.5, max pitch 0.5. Yeah, this might not be easy to do. I want to play a sound and then repeat it. And we don't have the ability to do that. Play stream. Does it have a repeat thing? Playback type? Playback type. Can't go to that for some reason. Audio server dot playback type. What is that? Stream sample max. No. They don't have a repeat thing here. Maybe it's on audio player. What is this thing called? Audio stream player. Found you. Huh, no repeat. Oh, maybe it's called loop. Probably should have been searching for that. No. It might also be on something else in here that I'm not looking at, because I would expect this to exist somewhere. Play stream. Does this thing ever mention looping? If it does not loop. Huh. Do we put this on the file itself? Because I only have it on this. Maybe in import there's a loop thing. Loop mode. Oh, there it is. Forward? Loop begin, loop end. Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know. Sounds good. So we need to stop it. So yeah, I got to stop the sound at some point. How do you stop a stream? You have to pass in the ID, which means we need to save it off. We don't do any of this. Why does it even return a long? Plays sound returns that long? Okay, hold on. Why did I do this? I never use this? Wow. Well, it's already pretty much coded, it looks like. In fact, actually, it could just loop until the end because we're going to trash the whole sound system. Play rage rumbling sound. Yeah. No, this loops. Let's just get the ID. Long sound ID or stream ID equals this. And then we'd want to be able to save this somewhere. Play sound doesn't return this. Long return. Okay. Rage rumble stream ID. So I assume this can't return negative sounds or negative numbers. What does it say? Returns invalid ID if the amount of streams playing is too high. Yeah. So that's what we want. We want invalid ID for this thing to start at. So private long rage rumble stream ID equals audio. It's this, but it's not in audio system. It's wherever that documentation was. I got to close these tabs. Like a billion things open here. I can't find anything anymore. No, where is it? Aha, here, this. Cool. Then we need a way to stop that at the end. Stop rage rumbling sound. Yeah, so this we don't have any easy way of doing. We need to get the audio player. There needs to be like a stop sound on this. stop stream. Yeah, let's just go make this. So this is in here now. And then we want to do sound system.stop. That's not a thing. There's stop music. Yeah. But this isn't town audio player, is it? I guess it is. Nothing takes just one argument? It's called stop stream. It's not called stop stream. What is it called? Oh, because we need to get the audio stream playback polyphonic for this. Fine. There we go. So now that can call into there. Town audio player dot stop stream. Yeah. Nice. Now it exists. Okay, so we can play the rumbling sound. The rumbling sound should be when we zoom in on your little skeleton face and you start shaking your fists, which is right there. Play rage. So I want this to also play the sound effect. Insert key, rage. So we play it here, and then once we fade to black, which is like right there, I think we can stop that sound. Ideally, we'd fade it out. Stop rage rumbling sound. I don't even think it gets a chance to loop. All right, let's listen to it. Might be super loud. I don't know. They're still too delayed. I want to move them all to the left. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think it's maybe a little too low. It's very bass heavy. So maybe that, and maybe actually increase the volume a little bit. Now, there was one other problem that struck me as I was watching that. Oh, yeah. The timing of the text effects. So these, we're not going to belabor this time. We're going to just drag them all so that they're just a little bit sooner. Yeah. All right, so this first one is here, which is right in the... Oh, wait, no. First one's there. So we're just going to drag them like that. So now it's kind of at the beginning of when they show up. Yeah, the animation playing quickly, I know, and then I'm like, it's not such a big deal. Yeah, I should probably fix that. I know what you're talking about. All right, let's put my money where my mouth is and close all these tabs now. Outro, antidote. All right, that should be controlled by set speed scale here. So if we set this to 0.25 and it doesn't do anything. So analytics, I want you to watch that this time. See if the speed of the animation changed there, because I might forget. Because I want to pay attention to the rage rumbling sound. No, it's still too fast. Okay, now that's too loud. So the animation is too fast. Animation of walking is too fast. Rage is too loud. The text effects should get louder. And the potion pickup sound is probably too loud. All sound data. Okay, so let's set this back to just 1 for now. So that's that one. Animation's too fast. That means that this isn't even working. I don't know why, though. We make them walk away. Right over here. And that's when we call play here. And what is the second argument? Is that the speed scale? Because if it's a speed scale, then I know exactly what's going wrong. Adventure. Oh, wait, no, we don't even need to do that. We can just go take a look over here. Play. What's the second argument? Speed. Oh, wow, perfect. Okay, well, that answers that question. So then this is pointless. And we just change this to be like half the speed. I think that's probably going to look fine. All right, so that one's fixed now too. Now text effects should get louder. So let's just keep track of the last volume we played this at. Private float last text effect volume level equals 1. And then anytime we play the negative text sound, we do this at the volume level and then add just 0.1. Now it's going to get offset by the attenuation that we have in the audio system that I made. And I don't know how that attenuation works. The multiplier is attenuation rate to the power of the number of recent plays that you've had. This is going to be really hard to figure out, but it's 0.9 to the X. So we actually probably need to increase this by like 0.15 to make it sound louder. I don't want it to get too loud. And actually there's going to be kind of a problem here if you could ever pause this, because you could pause in between and then the attenuation would stop and then it would like play at like 2x. So I should probably cap it at some point. Oh, and didn't I not fix another bug? Hang on, wait, there's one more thing. Potion pickup sound is probably too loud. Yeah, let's go fix that. Pick up potion. Let's play this at like 8.5. Yeah. Okay, so now all those issues are fixed. We're almost at a perfect cutscene. Ideally, I should do those super polished things I talked about, like the low pass filter fading in. So smug. Yeah, that's pretty good. The green potion, the one that poisons them. This should be a little louder or quieter, by the way. Okay, so I think we're good for this. Rumbling, text says bonka fast, consider dialogue sounds. Okay, I want to just see one more time. Is there anything that's missing a sound? And should I have them for dialogues? I think you have them in the intro. I should just go to the intro. Yeah, let's just go to the intro and see how the intro looks. See if we're consistent. So I changed this. Isn't this going to skip the intro? I think we will. How do we watch the intro? Not like that. Skip loading scene. Wasn't there a skip intro somewhere? Oh, there it is. Main scene title. So skip false. Is that enough to fix that? Hey, Dave, it's going pretty well. I think we're almost done with the animation and sound stuff. I want to watch the intro just to see, does the intro do sounds for things that I didn't do? That's not the intro. I see what's happening now. I'm loading the outro. I want to load the intro. That's going to cause us to fail. It won't even build. There. No sound for the dialogue. But a sound for the thought bubbles. We're pretty consistent so far. I don't think there are any other sounds in the intro, just the footsteps. Yeah, I think it's the only other sound that's going to play. So then I think we're done with the sound stuff. Yeah. Okay. So now let's watch the outro again. See if anything seems out of place or if anything's missing a sound effect. Should anything have a sound effect that doesn't have one? How do I go into it? There. Stupid thing. Okay, two things struck me, but they're both kind of small. One is the amplitude of the text in this should be a little bit higher. And then two is that we really should fade in that effect. I don't want to do that. Too many footsteps after the slowdown, minor thing. I have to watch that again. Let me see. Steps after the slowdown, minor. Stupid thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, it should be cut down. Let's go find that. Because now we can customize it with the speed. So we just got to figure out what we're calling the play footsteps thing. It should be this right here. Whoops, I did not mean to move that. Yeah. So let's just change this to have 2 arguments. And have the second argument, instead of being this, be a float that is set to maybe 1. Because it's originally 0.5, so this would be half as many footsteps. But I don't even think we have a second that passes, do we? This is at 18.5. Wait, I'm confused. It only goes for half a second anyway. How do we hear 4 of them? Is the speed scale normal? It is. What? I'm going to play 4 footsteps. Grassy. Yeah, it's 0.5 by default. What? What is doing that? Huh. The only thing I think is that this is not at full speed yet. But the speed scale is set to... Oh, it is not at full speed. Oh. Wait, what? But we stopped this here. Like halfway through? Did we start it again afterward? Okay. I don't fully understand why we're hearing those footsteps when we are. Let me make sure I'm not going crazy here. Stupid thing. So weird. It's after... Oh, it's within the speed up, maybe. Yeah, it's within the speed up. Okay. Well, then that should work. Was that a hamburger and there's a skeleton ate it, or a coin? It's a coin. Do I have that open here? No, I don't think so. It's this. Oops. Nope, sorry. That's a sound effect, not a graphic. Yeah, it's this. Which is the same coin graphic we use. We could make it spin a little bit faster, maybe. I'm not sure if that's what's causing it to not look like a coin. Barely see the animation, wasn't sure. Yeah. I mean, it's intentionally fast because they're throwing the coin at the player. So, but when you see it land, it says that you got gold. So, I mean, it should be pretty clear from that. And if it's not, afterward, they say keep the change. You wouldn't say that if you gave someone a hamburger, a tasty, tasty hamburger. All right, so wait, what was the other thing? The low pass filter? Yeah. So all we do is add a low pass filter. We don't tween this filter, but we could tween it if we add it, right? Maybe we can. Let's try it. Tween equals, can you make this on the, no, you can't. So just create a tween here, I guess. Then tween property filter. Okay, so what are we customizing with this? There's a frequency that we get, but the frequencies are defined up here. Cutoff hertz. Can't even find that. Well, you can't go to this one either. What? All right, let's, is there documentation on this? I would love to see the specific. No, this is as far as you can get. Cutoff hertz. Threshold is set to 2000 by default. So if we set it to, how does that work? It's a low pass filter. So if we set it to a really high frequency, we're going to let everything through, and then we slowly lower it down to 2000. When I say slowly, I mean maybe like a second. So what's the, what frequency do we start this at? I guess we could analyze the frequency of this. The music. I don't know how we do that. Let me just open up FL Studio. Whoops. I don't know why it says whoops every time I open FL Studio. All right, so what do I want to do? I want to add an equalizer. And I want to just take a look at what is this range? 8,000. Yeah, so if we start at like 10,000, it should be fine, right? Yeah. So how does this work? Tween property, we take the property, the final value, and the duration. So we need to start it, filter dot cutoff equals 10,000. And then tween it down to 2,000 over the course of a second. And now what am I missing here? Oh, the property. Yeah, my bad. Cutoff hertz. All right. So what this is going to do is that low pass filter that makes it sound kind of muffled is now going to slowly ramp up, which means I should probably start the effect a little bit sooner, knowing that it's going to ramp up like this. Add low pass filter. This is right when, it's right before, well, maybe it just sounds fine. Let's just try it. And then the wavy text at the beginning should be wavier. Oh, right. I got to start it. Yeah, it's like slightly wavier. That's fine. Yeah, it should fade back in. Fine. Fine. Can we get the bus effect and do that? Audio server.get bus effect. Yes, we can. And then how do you pass it in? Bus index and effect index. Bus index 0. So this is going to be an audio effect low pass filter. And we need to cast it. And then, oh, and we also apparently need to rename this. Okay. Then we tween the filter to go back up to 1,000, 10,000, I mean, over the course of a second. And then when that's done, call remove. Perfect. This is the polish I said I didn't want to do, but it's not that hard to do. So let's just do it. So now I'll have a smooth low pass filter going down to 2000 hertz and then back up to 10,000 outside of that section. Oh yeah, that was really smooth. I didn't even notice that. Forgot I was even paying attention to that. I want that to start a little bit later. The rumbling. Where's the rumbling? There. Yeah, like there. Okay. Looking good. No dialogue sounds. Want the text to turn red on the final thought. Yeah, so this is the text that says stupid entitled adventurers. I wanted this to like turn red. Are there any just built-in BB code or rich text label? Is there any built-in effect that kind of does what I want anyway? Because I'd love to not have to make a custom one. That's weird. Where do you find this? Here. Test project. No, there was someone that they talked about like ghost text and stuff. Where's that? Ah, rich text effect. Looking pretty neat. Thanks. Yeah, I'm happy with how it's turned out. I want there to be like ragey text. So they have ghost, wave, pulse. What's pulse do? Pulse creates an animated pulsing effect that multiplies each character's opacity and color. Can be used to bring attention. All right, let's try this out. It's got a color. This might actually be exactly what I want. And a rage emoji. All right, let's try this. Rich text label. I am very angry. Let me put that there. And the color should be, I don't know what format this is just yet, so let's just not look at that. Is this animated? It is animated. Okay, so it's changing the alpha. So I want it to be like FFOOOO. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. And could just change the frequency so that it is very slow to get to red. So that it just kind of stays at red by the end of it. Yeah. Yeah. So if we just make this a low enough frequency, it's going to slowly turn red and then seemingly just stay there. And then the scene will be done. So that's all we need to do. Easy peasy. We can even change the easing. But yeah, let's do that. Okay. Again, this is intentionally not fast enough or not slow enough, sorry, for you to be able to read this. It's if you were to freeze frame here or pause it, it's like the old Simpsons episodes where they throw a joke for like 6 frames and you'd pause it and read it. As beautiful as that text. Why, thank you, Hideo. I'm quite the designer. I'm known for my excellent ability to pick colors. The trick, and I shouldn't share this for free, but you take 2 Fs and 4 zeros and put them in whatever order you want. That's it. All right, so we don't need this here. Yeah. Taking notes, as you should. This didn't work. I got to figure out, I accidentally changed some code here, and I don't know how I changed it, but I messed something up. I think it's this. I just want to go right into the outro. Yeah, this is not good. Why is it failing? Item with the same key has already been added. Main scene title screen load state. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, maybe it's this. Maybe it's this entire change. Oh, I duplicated it. Oh, I thought okay. I thought I clicked something else. Yeah, now it's working. All right, so we should see that last thought turn red. I actually kind of wanted to get bigger as well. That's probably not worth doing. Maybe it's just be larger to begin with. Yeah, like stupid entitled adventurers. Maybe in all caps. Or bold. Whoops. I forgot to check the checkbox that turns it into actual VB code. We should leave that in the game. Ship it. Yeah, it needs to be just a touch faster. Just a little bit. So 0.25, we need to increase this to like 0.4. And then we can speed up how we get to that so that we don't need to keep doing the whole scene every time we want to test that out. Let's go look at our speed scale, yeah, here. So just set this to 10. In fact, if we set this to like 100, we shouldn't even need to change the next number. Because now it's going to tween its way down to 1, which will still be faster than 10. Nice. That didn't work. Oh, you know why it didn't work? Because it was a coincidence how it worked the first time. It's actually pulsing whether it's visible or not. So it just so happened to be white going to red at that time. That's not how I want it to work. So we need to change the text once it's visible. I mean, at that point, we should just tween the modulate ourselves. Yeah. 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 Hey, what did you just say to me? Thank you for the resub. Happy holidays to you too. Add random characters that randomly change during the animation. I think just changing the color is probably good. Or even increasing the font size, or just like some animation that otherwise for a semi-static scene could change here. But yeah, let's set this back to what it was. And then, oh, you know what we could do? I could even do this easier than I thought I was going to do it. Check this out. Instead of modulating to white, we could just modulate to red. Done. Even easier than I thought. Let's try that now. Yeah, I do want it to be bold if we're going to do that. I guess turn this on, make this bold. And then set the bold font size to 54. And I want to see what that looks like right now. How do we do that? Oh, we just click here. Oh, that looks terrible. Because it didn't get a theme? It's using the wrong bold font. But there should have been a theme controlling this. I mean, we could just load in the font. No, wait, no, we can't. Yeah, we can't. Basic fonts. Well, it's not basic fonts. Controls? All of this is okay, except for that it's tinting what is already red. There's something, I'll just search for it. We just search for bold, we should find it. Yeah, Skele's other main bold. Okay, what sets you up? Font switcher. Project theme. Yeah, it's just the default theme. Why doesn't it apply to this? Maybe it looks fine in the game and it just looks bad here. That's possible. I mean, it doesn't take us that long to test this. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. Probably add a border to the text, like black or something. Kind of becomes. Oh yeah, that's fine. I don't mind doing that. Because we can do that here. In fact, we can actually do that on the parent control that we have. Yeah, here, font outline. All right, well, which thought is thought number 1? Back to adventuring. Yep, right there. All right, so we can use this to see. So outline size 1, 2. Why did it change the color? What is it doing? I think it's because it's not fully faded in yet. Huh, that's strange. Does that look good? I don't know how thick I should go with this. Looks way better. Okay. So I wonder if we can set this on all of them at once, because I don't want to do that 9 individual times. Constants, colors. Should be in constants, right? Yeah, right there. Okay, let's see if that's better. And if the number 4 isn't good enough, yeah, I don't mind trying different ones, but let's see if it's more readable. Yeah, that last one needs to be gigantic, though. And, like, probably cover the other thoughts. Let's move this here. Let's make it even larger, like 76. Maybe even bigger than that. 80. And we could rotate it to try to make it fit, but that's not really the point. And other languages are going to rotate this a little differently anyway. I mean, it might as well look decent enough for English, I guess. Oh, if I'm going to do this, shouldn't I just put it over the other text purposely? Like so? Yeah. Because you'll have already read this one by the time this one shows up. Okay, I like that. I also like how it fades out. Keep the hamburger. Keep the cheddar. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. So let's go check this in. This is basically like do everything. Yeah, I'll look through this, but it really is just like polish everything I did. Add sound effects. Yeah. Add a bunch of sound effects. I think we added the low pass filter here too. Oh, I have to click that. Did I change anything? Apparently not. Yeah, so polish the outro. Added a bunch of sound effects. Added a tweened low pass filter to muffle the music. Made text more legible. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is the sound noise / bug expected due to the time being slowed down? Sound noise / bug. Oh, yeah, if you're talking about, where's that sound? If you're talking about this, that is for all the like negative text that shows up and it plays louder and louder. It's meant to be like, it's just meant to accompany the text. It's kind of intended to sound like just a low rumbling. It's not meant to be super distinct. But I guess the problem with any sort of sound design that someone would ask a question like that means that it's not communicating the thought correctly. But maybe that's not what you're talking about. Made me think of Discord being robotic. Yeah, in my mind, it's fitting. And what's nice too is it's part of the asset pack for sounds that we use. So like internally, it's consistent with the other sounds that we have. The ones that aren't consistent are the ones I just downloaded from Pixabay, like the coin flip thing and the bottle pop. They fit. They're just higher fidelity than the other ones. All right, this is looking good. Definitely want to push that. Okay, so now we're on this stuff. Make sure we add the poison particle effect. We did that already. Make sure we fade in text as needed. I mean, this was old to-do items. As soon as you're done with a cutscene, give access to bone mode. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I know this is weird. These are the most important things. We're going to do the least important things because I want to clean up this list now and not have like 14 things hanging over me. And that way later when I come back to this, I can trick myself and be like, oh, there are only 2 things left to do. So sound ID, this one's dead simple. We select everything and we press F9 and we're done with this commit. That was it. I just want to alphabetize these. Alphabetize the sound IDs. Okay, finish with that. Fix adventurer portrait. This one's also dead simple. This is why I want to get through these. So Quickie Joe shared the proper adventurer portrait and it looks great. I will show this in the browser so you can see it. So here's you as an adventurer. The adventurer in the end cutscene is meant to look pretty similar to you, but different. So their hairstyle is pretty much identical. Their eyes are like the same size. They've got a mustache and the same facial hair and everything. They're even wearing a cloak. So yeah, they're practically the same. And whatever, we're using it. Okay, so let's save this in here. Assets, characters, portraits. Yeah, right there. Yeah, save, replace. Okay, and then by virtue of having that, we just need to go change portraits. No, not that. Portrait, dialogue portraits. End cutscene adventure. Okay, so X and Y need to change. So this character is at the 2nd column and the 3rd row. And it looks like they're all 64 by 64. So I think it'd be 128, 192. Oh, whoops. I accidentally checked in super fast animation speed. Whoopsie. That was bound to happen at some point. Yeah, whoops. So you see their portrait pretty early on, so we don't need to wait for too long. Oh, did I never click Godot? I don't know if I did or not. All right, so that's you. You're talking as a skeleton. Then they should be the new portrait, which is facing to the right. Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. So that one's done. Fix hyperspeed. I didn't mean to check this in. I'm not going to bother rebasing or fixing it that way. Add proper outro portrait. Move end adventurer drinking to an outro folder. We should just do this right through Godot. End adventurer drinking. Move to assets outro. And then move intro, whatever it's called. No, it's not called intro. Move pre-death main character. Pre-death main character. Move this to intro. Where's move? How did I lose it? There it is. Move it to intro. And that should just automatically work since I did this from within Godot. But let's try it anyway. So when they get to their drinking animation for drinking the potion, we should see this. I like the letterboxing. Yeah, I'm glad this came together pretty well. We have a couple of little things to fix, and I technically have some time to fix them. But I might not do it on stream. Yeah, that'll look fine. Just in case we generate UIDs. Yeah, I'll do that before we merge the branch. I'll write that down over here. Run UID tool. Okay, so this is done. Merge all of that. All right, so this just moves stuff around. Do we have anything else in the intro that... Or anything else in the characters folder that doesn't belong there? How do we view this? Like so, yeah. All right, I belong there. Oh, that's weird. Card peoples. That's weird. We have 2 sets of portraits? Wait, are those different? Those card peoples? Oh, these are for the adventurers. Oh, yeah. And the other one's for the NPCs. Oh, I never put the hands in the game. Or in the outro. I don't know if I care about that right now. But yeah, this is looking good. Okay, cool. So move assets to the right folders. We now have intro and outro folders. So that's where intro and outro specific things should go. Yeah. Okay, Sinistello, you could see them start to run. Oh, yeah. So this is pretty minor, but in the cutscene, the adventure goes from 20 life down to like 8 life. And then they're like, cool, time to adventure again. But they have 8 life out of 100 max. So like, should they regen? Is it funny that they don't care about their life total, even though you died? And I'm just gonna leave it as is for now. I think it's fine. It also, if we were to regenerate them, it'd be one more thing that's happening on screen. The other thing we could do is we could just fade out their life bar, and then you don't even know that they're regenerating or not. Could just be that it stops showing. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave this. Rename intro footstep grass. Yeah, this should just be footstep grass, which now means this needs to be alphabetized differently. There, done. Game should still build. Yep, cool. Yeah, so I want to check in those things. Rename, intro, footstep, grass. It's used in the outro too. Cool. Make sure the poison is hidden at the right time after drinking the potion. Yeah. Cue free the outro. Hey, Five Puff. How's it going? Cue free the outro. Do we need to do this? I think we should do that afterward. Okay. Poison particles are misaligned from the drinking potion animation. The shadow is too. Oh, I fixed this already. I'm pretty sure. I was apologize. It's going really well. I'll show you what this looks like in just a sec. Flip all the adventurers sprite sheets of the potion be on the right side of them. Or the right translate call. Search for string. This needs to be done in the cutscene. So what we need to do is add this into here. Localization. Add scenes. Outro. I guess just this one. And then call generate, but we're not keeping this. This will drastically mess things up. But I just want to see what strings made it in there. But we cannot check this in. So all of this should be stuff that the player sees. Back to adventuring, dedicate my life to the shop. Yep. Yeah. All of this is fine. Now we could technically save the bolding of this for outside of the string. I'm not even going to do that. I think this is clear enough. Yeah, this looks good. And then I should probably write an explanation somewhere about like a lot of these things are quick text that just shows as a joke. But I should probably put a screenshot there. In fact, maybe I'll write that here. And generate new translation files, add explanation or screenshot or both for the outro. Maybe say that a lot of that text doesn't show for very long. right, so what I do here, just added this. Yeah. So that one's good. Ensure outro antidote is in pod generation. And then there's one other scene, it's just outro. Yeah, there's nothing in that scene. Other files or other things that show up here. I think everything's being translated now. Do we have any other strings in here? The tip text, where's that? This is already translated, right? Technically, oh, yes, it is. Okay, I was gonna say technically it doesn't need to be because I thought they were just numbers, but there actually is the word tip, but that is translated. So I think it's fine. All right, don't let you highlight the guild master. Oh, right. I never fixed that. I also don't know how I'll fix that. And if you click it, it causes an error. We could just push them out of view. Yeah, it's like obvious that it prints an exception because it lags. Alternatively, we could just give them an on-click function that does nothing. But why is it even happening? Guild Master line 92. Because there's no town? Because, what if we just didn't even have a Guild Master? Or we just hid them? Yeah, like we just said editable children here and just turned off Mr. Guildmaster. You think anyone would notice? You think they notice the character is missing who's been there the entire game? I'm probably leaving it like this. It does look a little strange to not have them there. But again, one less thing for your eyes to focus on. So you'll hopefully focus on the action. Remove Guildmaster. It's assumed that the Guildmaster has a town object. So, but they don't in the outro. So clicking them causes an exception. Even if we prevented that exception, hovering over them shows a highlight around them. We could address that too, but I think the fewer things that are in the scene, the less there is for the player to be misdirected by. Or maybe I'm lazy. Okay. Detect when the player would be able to see outside of where we want them and zoom the camera more. You can probably detect blah, blah, blah. Is this a problem? I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Do we have local settings open still? No. But I could open that pretty quickly. And we could change the content scale factor back to 1 and then just try loading this and see how much we see. Do not buy. Negative review. Game has been abandoned. It was abandoned on stream day, whatever today is. Yeah, this is a problem. This is a huge problem. We gotta fix that. The problem is, how do we fix that? Because I don't know how we fix that. We need to know that you can see those trees on the outside. And then zoom the camera in. But how do we detect that? So let's set the master volume down to 0 again. I'll just take a picture of this. Okay. So yeah, in this case, you can see too much. I want to just zoom until you can't see that much. We know how big the game is, the game window. We know how big the window is. We know what you're zoomed to, and we know your content scale factor, so we should be able to figure out if that's too much. Yeah, and that's what I wrote here. Oh yeah, and the opposite direction has a problem as well. It's not just that you can see that there's nothing beyond the bridge. Well, you could assume there's a cave there or something. Although I don't know why your customers would come from a cave. But um, over here, there's no farm, there's no pond, there's no portal. So you really shouldn't see all that stuff. Hi, cat. Yes. Come over. Hi. Good cat. So we get the content scale factor. Of course, you could also maximize the game at that time, which would change it. So I guess anytime the game window changes, we would need to do something about this. So let's go into outro because that's what should have this. And we need some like window size changed. Window size changed. And just put this in the outro. And call it immediately. And then what does this look like? I wonder if we need to do this stuff next frame. Update camera bounds. So this is all sub viewport stuff. We don't have a sub viewport. Let's look at a different window size changed. Update bounds. Update bounds. Get viewport rectangle. That's what I want. Oh, man. Okay, let's just print this out, I guess. This is divided by the camera zoom. Print visible camera size. Okay, let's try that. So if I run this once, it's gonna... Cat. Let me move my legs. Okay, it should have already printed out. Yeah, it printed this. That's our visible camera size. But then if I start the game with a content scale factor of 2, so this is content scale factor is 1, and with 2, what does that print? I'm hoping it doesn't print the same numbers. Good. So they're exactly divided by 2. So our problem is when you can see more than like 1,000-ish pixels, maybe. So we don't even need to do anything special here other than if like visible camera size dot x is greater than 1,000, then just do camera dot zoom times equal to. I'm going to make this code better. I just want to test and see if this works. So right now, I will be, whatever zoom level we see should be the same one after I change that file. So this, we can see the edge of the bridge, and on the right side, we can see some lamps. So bridge and lamps, and then we change this back to 1, and we should still see bridge and lamps. Yes, perfect. Okay, so now no matter what, you should see the same thing, except for this isn't totally true because you could have a window size of like 4,000, in which case you should be like super zoomed in probably. Yeah. So what we really want to do is make sure... How do we want to do this? Because at some point we want to zoom in even further than what we're currently zoomed in. And here we set it to 3.3. And then somewhere we zoom in more than that. Zoom. We just multiply it by 8. I wonder if that's even allowed. Probably is. Notice you sorted the enumeration. Be careful of that if they have implicit values. If you have exported field that uses enumerations that you set through the editor, resorting or resorting that enumeration will cause the editor to use the wrong values. Do we use sound IDs somewhere? We should never export sound IDs as far as I know, but we might. But that's something, yeah, I had not thought about. We need to search for, well, I guess searching for export would probably be easiest because we don't do that very often. So if I just search for all of these, and then we do, whoops, that's not what I want to do. That is what I wanted to do. So what are the types that we have? Bool, canvas item. I guess I could just search for sound ID. No, we don't have it. Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. Okay. So where did I leave off of this? The camera code. Where did the camera code even go? Oh yeah, I was checking the multiplication. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if 1,000 pixels, I don't know what level is actually wrong here. Because when I'm looking at this, I'm only seeing 640 pixels. So technically, if we're above 640, I guess we have a problem. So can I just put this in a while loop and just keep zooming in? Yeah. If it's greater than, I guess, 700-ish, then just run window size change. Something like that. I'll try this. I'll try this out. But how do we test this? Can we zoom out with a content scale factor? Can I make like a gigantic window on Mac OS? I put it on my other monitor. Can I now drag it onto... Oh, that's weird. Oh, no, it's not weird. The content scale factor is set to 1. I'm like, why are the dialogues tiny? Cool, back to adventuring. Oh, this is really tiny. That's strange because that should be covering the whole window. Maybe it had to do with... Oh, that's very zoomed in. Hmm. Maybe it had to do with this the starting viewport. I'm not totally sure. Hey, Kavino. Hey, Tricky Lady. Thank you for the raid. Do you want to see the cutscene I've been working on for a very long time? Let me go find the save file and then I can show you this. Set this to 2, set this to 0.5. Hey, Magnus. Heck yeah, we do. Okay, so yeah, I got to give the context every time I share this. The context is pretty short. You were an adventurer and you were on your first quest and you got poisoned and died and you became a skeleton. And this game is called Skeleseller. So then you start your own town and you eventually find an antidote. When you find that antidote, which is after like 4 hours of playing the game, that's when you'll see the end cutscene, which is this. Hey, Cuttlefish. That's it. Reminds me of an old phone game called Diamond Rush. I don't think I've heard of that. I don't think I've seen this. Interesting. Yeah. It's cute. Thank you. Yeah, it's taken a lot of time to get here. And so now what we're trying to do is see what happens if you're on different resolutions. Hey, Kyle. Yeah, so this is what it would look like if we change the content scale factor. So now the dialogues are going to be a different size. Yeah, which all dialogues in the game would look like they're this size. So this would look normal to you. But then what happens when we get to those text effects? I turned off the sound because I've heard this like a million times now. I like the look. We're using Godot for this. Yeah, it's still broken. Oh man. Okay, so it's only taking up like a quarter of the screen. It should be set to take up the whole thing. And I don't know why that's not working because it should just be as simple as... Oh, is it going to put this inside of a control? Maybe I need to click this. That shouldn't do anything, right? Huh. I don't know about this. All right, take care, Cavino. Thank you for the raid. Remove the dot from keep the change. You want no punctuation on that? Or you want the like emoticon to be the punctuation? Because every other sentence that an NPC says is like properly punctuated. Unless you're saying like put an exclamation mark there or something. I had thought about that, but I think it sounds more smug with just a period. All right, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the speed. Yeah. So we go change this to be 100. And then that's it. So now it's going to speed up right to the text section. And we're going to see that it's still broken, I bet. At which point we got to figure out what we're supposed to do here. Yeah, it's still broken. You should make the tip 1 gold instead of 25. Actually, that's hilarious. I definitely want to do that. Thank you for the amazing suggestion. Yeah, so tip string. How much does an antidote normally sell for? Actually, we could just get it. All item data. Why is it not auto-completing? Without full rectangle. Yeah, but I got to figure out what should have full rectangle. I think we just need to position these things with anchors and not with... Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. All item data dot get item ID dot antidote. Why antidote isn't a thing? What's it called? Big yellow potion? Really? Oh man, is it really? Yeah, antidote. Okay, so it's worth 20. So let's get the value of that, and then a tip of 1. Oh, wait, I guess we have to add 1. So like int tip equals 1, and then write tip here twice. It's extra insulting that they would tip so little. That is a great suggestion, Xyletics. Okay, so I think all these different text effects, which thankfully weren't like detailed in their position, we just put them somewhere. I think what we need to do is instead of changing their position like this, we change it to anchors, and then go figure this out. So is there an easy way to do this? I mean, it's already set to anchored at the top left. I guess, actually, can we just change everything to be anchored like that? Anchor. Can I click all of them at once and do this? And does that fix everything? It might. Rescale 2 when changing the scale factor? I don't think so. I think I just needed to use anchors and not absolute positions. But, I mean, we'll find out shortly. It is not that simple. What am I doing wrong then? Maybe it's also got a position set and I need to use custom for this. Oh, the anchor offsets are in pixels? Oh, I see. Okay, so we got to delete all of these things and then move them using just the anchors. All right, so if I don't know where they were originally, but it doesn't really matter. So I'll position thought 1 and thought 2. And as long as those are in the right positions, then I think we can be pretty much convinced that this is going to be fine. All right, so anchor point, let's put this like over there and down there. Although, wouldn't this be anchored based on the left side of the screen or the right side? I don't know. I don't know if it matters. So we should see the back to adventuring on the left and then this on the right. Yeah. So we need to anchor everything that way. I wanted these to expand and be always this size. I mean, I guess we could do that. We could like change the font size based on the camera zoom. Or we could just put these in camera coordinates. Although then they wouldn't look like true type fonts. Well, I'll just do this for now. I probably should change this though, right? Yeah, I'm very torn on this one. Because if they're not gigantic... Wait, doesn't this mean they'd be even larger if I set it to size 3? Yeah, I probably got to change that. Did I take a picture of this at any point? Because if so, I could just relay these out based on that. I did not. We have the YouTube video, though. So we could just go back to that. Okay, so that's what we have for all these. I'll just take this. Actually, I'll just take a picture of it. I'll put the picture off screen. Is it the same if you set scale to like 4? Yeah, I want to try that out because I think this is going to be wrong. What does this one say? Adventurer myself. It went down here. Again, the specific positioning doesn't really matter, but we at least knew that it looked decent this way. So if I go to local settings and we change this to 3, I guess the text would be too large for the screen. I mean, I only laid out 3 of these things. Hey, Fairmont. How'd it go today? Yeah, this looks bad. Dedicated my life to this shop is off the screen, though. We pretty much finished the cutscene. There's some like minor cleanup stuff that we have to do. But this is not looking the best. How is this off the screen? I guess we need to get like a consistent font size. I think, so we could do this with like a sub viewport or something. I could try to position this in terms of camera coordinates or change the size based on camera coordinates. Got the start of some real game stuff done. Pathfinding for AI and NPCs. Some of my favorite algorithms. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. How goes over here? Almost done with the game. Well, almost done with the outro at least. I can show you this from the beginning, but I'm currently struggling with one particular part. But still, let's load this up. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I have it set to like turbo speed right now. Let's turn off turbo speed. You are not part of the turbo team. Value 0.5. What? Oh, there. That's it. This introduction is, well, it's the outro. So yeah, I got to figure out how I'm going to get this thing to work. If I increase the content scale factor. Oh, wait, this is with the map. The map part worked fine. Oh, so this part's already kind of finished, I guess. Yeah, and the problem we ran into is fix the text in the anxiety section so that it looks good at any content scale factor or window size. I still don't know exactly how we're going to do that. I want to have... I mean, if we always wanted to take up the same space, I guess we do need to change the font size. Option 1, change font size. Like position with anchors and then change font size based on the content scale factor. Option 2, throw everything in a sub viewport. It'll look pixelated at that point. Well, let's check in the first fix that we did. Yeah, so these anchors are pointless. Not what we want. Yeah, I don't want this for any of this stuff, but I do want this change. And what's this about? Oh yeah, the tip. I didn't actually look at that. That was in the video, right? Let's see. Click live. Oh, content. And mute this. And then show where I showed this to Faramond. Yeah, so he tips only 1 gold now. I didn't actually see that that was the change. And he should only pay 20 gold for the item. Yeah, nice. So 21 gold, 1 gold tip. Yeah. So saying keep the change when he gave you 1 gold extra is pretty silly. Got here for 2 raids today. Everyone's sending you back, trying to escape. I will not let you get pulled out of the orbit of this stream. I have several. Oh yeah, sure. Although now you've seen the ending of the game. I've spoiled it for you. Okay, so this is what Xyletic suggested. Let's check this in. Make tip value insultingly low. This was Xyletic's suggestion. Okay, and then this one was change camera zoom based on window size. I can't let people see too much of the outro world since it's incomplete. Whoop, that drat, undo. I didn't realize I overtyped. Yeah, so the text thing, the ending feels like the start, which has a cyclical aesthetic to it. It is supposed to feel kind of like the start, except for that it changed the outcome. You died, whereas you saved the life of this adventurer. But that adventurer didn't care. My original idea, and it's pretty much the same thing as what we have here, is that it's such a trope in RPGs to get an antidote to cure a deadly poison. Like, how many games have you played where you get poisoned, you walk into a shop, they have an infinite number of antidotes, you use one, you're cured forever. Well, until you get poisoned again. And like, that's it. And you do take it for granted in those games because, of course, and an antidote's typically like a really cheap item in most games too. Like, it happens in Pokemon, it happens in Final Fantasy. There's so many different games that do this. And then in this game, it's not a given and it caused your death. So it makes sense that a new adventurer who came in would be like, yeah, you're going to have an antidote. But that was not a given. It's the only way this game could end. So this is hopefully finished. We can do this renaming stuff pretty easily. Intro main character to cutscene character. This is not very important. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. I'll just write on this. This is also used. Or we could make like a cutscenes folder. We'd have to move everything if we did that. Yeah, this is also used by the outro. I think we'll just do that. Add clarifying comment. And intro sound system, same thing. Probably could have just done that at once. Note this is also used by the outro. Yeah, so check that in and then just amend the last commit. Oh, now the commit should say add clarifying comments. Funny that I'm going to fix this, but I'm not going to fix the actual underlying problem. Hey, Neocromer. Yeah, the release is planned for March. I want to set a date by the end of this year. I'm leaning toward, I think, March 17th. Let me take a look. I wanted to pick a Tuesday, March 10th or March 17th. I don't know which one's better. The thing I'm slightly worried about, I mean, I was talking about this on stream the other day. Slay the Spire 2 is probably going to be a pretty big game. If you knew for sure, let's say it was going to have like 5 million players, would you change the launch of your game based on it? I don't know when it's launching other than just March. So, yeah, I kind of want to get in before that because if streamers, well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I feel. I don't think there's a lot of overlap between the player bases. Expecting things for free when I ran tabletop RPGs. I had adventurers codified as a sort of rogue. A known group of people who were treated poorly. So I can understand the outro and ending. Yeah. And for what it's worth, mechanically, you wouldn't want something like poison killing all your characters in games that you play. So there needs to be a cure, it needs to fade, or it needs to not be lethal to begin with, or the magic fixes it or something. For this game, it's pretty much just flavor. In less than a year, you made this game. Oh, it'll have been almost 2 years since the start of the game when it's released. So we started way back in 2024 on April 17th. I think that's when, yeah, started the GitHub repo was that day. It's hard to select that text because now it's under my camera. But yeah, that was April 17th of 2024. So it's been a year and 8 months and 5 days so far. So by the time we launch another 3 months, it'll have been a year and 11 months and whatever number of days. I don't know, maybe not even fully 11 months, but yeah, pretty close to 2 years by the time it's launched. All right. This we're probably not going to do anything about. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, I have these things to fix now. Yeah. I think we should finish this tomorrow. Let me at least write in my journal for today. Then I want to just kind of chat for a little bit about some stuff. Cool. Practically finish the cutscene or the outro. The scene itself now has all audio and animations, but there are like finishing touches, like adding the skip button that aren't done yet. None of these were that hard, except I still don't know how I'm going to do this one exactly. So I got to figure that one out. I guess just getting everything positioned on the screen, even if the text is small, isn't too bad. Option 3, take the easy way out. Position everything on the screen and just make sure the text isn't too small. Or, yeah. Nah. Including greater than or equal to 3. All right, so as mentioned, I wanted to talk for a little bit. So my schedule is on Twitch, and I keep it up to date, and I just updated it today with the days I won't be streaming this week. Days I won't be streaming are going to be December 25th and 26th. So no streams. I think they'll resume on Monday, and my main goals for December, which I know it's weird to say when we're this close to the end of the month, is come up with a launch date. And it doesn't have to be set in stone yet. Like if we decided March 17th and we wanted to move it to March 10th or 24th or something, like that's fine. But if we decide it's going to be in February and it's really going to be in July, that's a big problem. So yeah, come up with a launch date and then like get back to the point where we can have playtesters. I've been holding off on this stuff because I'm like, well, let's just finish the end cutscene. Let's get all this other stuff done. Because then when it comes time for January, a lot of what we do is going to be marketing. In fact, I feel like at least probably 50% of my time or more should be for marketing. And then with the remaining 50% or less would be things like, well, I guess that kind of fits in marketing. Yeah, anyway, any remaining development and then any polish that we can do. But the game is feeling pretty good. We just have mega lists of tasks that I want to make sure we've gotten through all the important stuff. And I've been looking through this over the past few weeks. But yeah, these were the main things that we had to get done. Achievements are practically there. Localization's on its way. Controller support's practically there. This is practically there. This is practically there. Yeah, there's so many things that are like close to done. We'll probably wrap up a lot of them in January. Yeah. Man. I'm excited though. We've been working on this project for so long. And it's coming together. Still feels like there's a lot to do. And I've been thinking to myself, is, 2 months and some change enough time to get ready? I think it is. I also don't want to hold off for too long. Like we could wait another 3 months. Nothing's technically stopping me. Could wait until June or something and be like, okay, now we're going to launch. It'd be more polished. We might have more content. We might have another system or something. But if the game's not going to do well, And you don't know this ahead of time. But if the game's not going to do well, I definitely wouldn't want to put that time in toward it. I have an idea for another game. And yeah, if Skeletal Seller does well, we'll still support it for a bit. Anyway, that's been me rambling. I'm going to get going. Tomorrow, I will just be streaming in the morning. I have a whole bunch of stuff to do. So let's go raid. Let's go raid Rough Cookie. I don't know if I've raided them before. I can't remember if we dropped in. Any other smaller breaks in between? Been a little bit since you've taken a vacation. I don't think so, but maybe. Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for being here. I'm going to get going. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.